You hear these names all the time. Krippe, Kita, Tagesmutter. What they actually mean and what are the difference between them? Hi and welcome back to my channel. This channel is about motherhood in Germany, and if you want to know more about becoming or being a mother in Germany, please hit the subscribe button of my channel here. In this video, I'm going to talk about the differences between the different types of day childcare in Germany for children between 0 and 3 years old. I hope this video will make you feel more comfortable when you have to choose a different type of child daycare for your little one or little ones. Since August 2013, children from 1 to 3 years old have the right of a place in a child daycare in Germany. But there are different types of child daycare. It could be a Krippe, it could be a Kita, it could be a Tagesmutter. Am I talking about different things, or are they kind of related or not? Let's check. So at first I want to say that it's really difficult to translate any of these words that I just said in German because they could mean different things, not only in different languages but also in different countries, because I'm going to talk about the differences between them, and in other countries they are totally different. So I'm not going to find a common English word for none of them, and I'm going to use the German words when I'm referring to them. So let's start with the broad definitions. Krippe, which is the short name for Kinderkrippe, usually is integrated into a Kita, and it is for children between 4 months old and 3 years old. This is the age range for institutions that work just as Krippe. But if it is integrated in a Kita, which is the most common here in Germany, then you can build different types of age groups. For example, we could have a group with children between 4 months old and 2 years old, or a group with children with from 1 year old to 6 years old. Yeah, it depends a lot on how they are organized. And this is something you can just ask when you're looking for one. Just for you to know, Kita is also the short version of Kindertagesstätte. And that's the word you maybe find some documentation online. But if you are talking with other parents or even people working, the staff working on a Kita, they will just call it Kita. The Tagesmutter or Tagesvater, which is sometimes translated as childminder. I don't know if this helps. I'm not going to use this word anymore, but it's just for you to know. It's not the official name. Actually, the official name is Kindertagespflege, and it includes children under 3 years old. Let's now jump into the main differences. And I'm going to start with their training or education of the staff working in these different places. For this comparison, I will put the Krippe and Kita together because they don't have differences between each other. So I will have them in one group, and then the Tagesmutter in the other group. So starting with the training or education in the Kita or Krippe, you have really educators that had studied for that. Actually, they could not be educators. So there is a variety of professionals that could work here, but they all are related to education, of course, of small children. And you could even have some extra professionals that will work in a specific area, and for that they have a specific background, for example, related to music or to art or to languages. And this will not be the main educator, of your child or of the children that are in the Krippe or Kita, but they will come sometimes or even daily. I'm just going to give an example of how the studies work for somebody that wants to be an educator in Germany. So you finish school and then you have 2 up to 5 years studies, but usually they are not going to 5, they are not more than 2, and those are not university studies, but they have to go to classes, and the subjects of their classes could be educational theories or educational activities, pedagogy, and special education is also one of the possible subjects that they will have to have. After those usual 2 years, the educator is not considered educator yet because it has to do a 1-year internship. And afterwards, he or she is considered an educator and works in a Krippe or a Kita. The Tagesmutter or Tagesvater don't have a specific education, but they have to fulfill 160 teaching units for a qualified childcare provider. So there are some courses that they could take, and when they fill these minutes, they can work as a Tagesmutter or Tagesvater. After they finish these 160 units, they have to repeat each year 20 units to be updated. We'll also need a certification of the Young Welfare Office from the city or the state they want to work. And this is to allow them to work as Tagesmutter or Tagesvater for more than 15 hours per week, to receive money in exchange for child care, and to work outside of the parents' house and other points. And this certification should be renewed every 5 years. They need also to have attended to a first aid course. They need an insurance, a good conduct certificate. Also, they need a document from a doctor stating that they are mentally suitable for this job. Now let's talk a little bit about the staff to child ratio. And there are some recommendations. There is, for example, a foundation here in Germany called Bertelsmann, and they recommend that 1 educator should be responsible for a maximum of 3 children. If we go to the UK, there is another institute called the National Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Children, and they recommend that 1 educator should take care between 3 to 4 children. I will leave on the description of this video the link to this information that I'm talking about. And also the next information that I will talk about, I will leave everything on the description of this video. But now let's see how it is in Germany. And the data is shown just from 2017. I don't think it changed a lot through these 2 years, maybe a little bit, but not that much. And the range, it is that 1 educator takes care of 4 to 6 children, and the average is 4.3 children per 1 educator. And this information is for Krippe and Kitas here in Germany. I'm not talking about Tagesmutter yet. There is actually a very nice map I'm going to show you here, and it shows by color how many children are taken care by 1 educator in each city and state in Germany. And you can see if it is red, it means that he's taking up to 6 children. The dark red is 6 children. And the blue means 3 children. The best state would be Baden-Württemberg. That's actually where we live. We live in Heidelberg. It's one of the cities of Baden-Württemberg. And the average in Baden-Württemberg is 3 children per 1 educator. The worst state in Germany is actually Sachsen, with 6.2 children per 1 educator. And this is just statistics, but this makes you understand a little bit what could you expect from the Krippe or Kita that you are going to visit and ask questions about how many children per educator and so on. The Tagesmutter or Tagesvater has a maximum number of children that they can take care, and this is required by law. So they can take care of less children, but not more than that. And the number is 5. Now let's move into the premises. So I'm talking about space. How many square meters do children have to play, to sleep, to eat, wherever they're doing the whole day there? And I will start with the Krippe and Kita and what is recommended. So the European Commission Childcare Network recommends that a child should have inside 6 square meters and outside also 6 square meters. The American Academy of Pediatrics actually recommends that a child should have inside 4.6 square meters and outside between 3 and 6 square meters to play, and so on. In Germany, not all states require a minimum amount of square meters per child in the Krippe or Kita, but some have really strict rules about that and some have none. Some of the states that don't have any requirement of the minimum amount of square meters per child are Bayern and Schleswig-Holstein. And actually the numbers are 6 square meters inside and 8 square meters outside for Baden-Württemberg. So this is not something you will find maybe that important. You will just go inside the rooms and have the feeling of, okay, 5 children here will have enough space. And you go outside in the garden or backyard and you will check, okay, this is also enough for 8 to 9 children. I don't know, it depends. In the Tagesmutter, actually they can perform their work in their own house, in the house of the parents of the child, or in another extra house that is rented or bought for this specific purpose. Anyways, this place will have an inspection. And the inspection will check some points, including the security, if there is enough space to play and rest, and how is the space organized in terms of colors and so on, if the toys are appropriate for the child, if there is also a place to eat together, and what is needed for that, like table and enough chairs for all the children. And finally, in the inspection, it will also be checked how is the hygiene, if there is a good standard of hygiene or not. And just if it passes all of this, it could be open to receive children. Now I have another topic, the final one. There is the other. And they relate to advantages of these 2 different types of child daycare. And for the Krippe or Kita, which is usually integrated into a kindergarten, that is when the child is already 3 years old, can go to the kindergarten. Usually it's easier to get a spot in the kindergarten if you already are in the Krippe there inside of the same building or same institution. This is a big advantage because you don't have to search for it again like you did it before for the Krippe, Kita or Tagesmutter or Tagesvater. The big advantage of the Tagesmutter or Tagesvater is that they usually have really small groups of children, so there is more time for communication with the parents, and it makes it a little bit more familiar. And it is also more flexible in case there is a specific need or in a specific day, or just a specific need like I have with our little lion, because he's allergic to cow milk, and they actually changed all the way they cook things there for my little lion to be able to eat what the other kids eat. And this is, maybe it could also be feasible in a Krippe, but I'm not sure how in some cases, because sometimes the food comes from an outside company, and so they cannot change it. So the care in the Tagesmutter is more personalized for your specific child and for the parents also, and the needs of the whole family. To do this video, it took me a long time because I could not find many of this information together, and it took me also some time to understand the difference between these types of child daycare. Everything is mainly written in German, which makes it very difficult if you don't feel comfortable to read in German. So I really hope this video helped you to feel comfortable, 100% comfortable with the choice you make for your little one. The reason why we chose the Tagesmutter goes beyond the training or the premises or the ratio of staff per child. It had mainly to do with the financial costs, and because of that I'm preparing a video about the differences and also on concerning the cost, of course, and also the financial support that is available. If this interests you, please leave me a comment on the comment section. I hope you liked this video. My videos are all about motherhood in Germany, and actually have a video also about the Berlin adaptation model. Maybe you want to check that here. It is how it works with the adaptation in the Krippe or the Tagesmutter, and this is about the model that is used almost everywhere in Germany. So don't forget to check that out. Please give a thumbs up if you like this video. I will like it very much. And press my subscribe button to check all my new videos that are upcoming. And see you on the next video. Bye!